welcome to this explainer. Today, we're diving straight into a fascinating duality. We're taking a completely objective look at a true nation of extremes, the United States. We're going to explore its towering global achievements, right alongside its profound domestic challenges, relying purely on the facts to unpack the reality of this global superpower. Let's get into it.
So, how exactly does a nation balance immense global power with such deep domestic struggles? Well, to really understand a system of this sheer size, we have to look at the whole picture. We need to explore everything from its massive economic engines to its incredibly dynamic cultural fabric, and then, crucially, examine the structural and social issues existing right inside those exact same borders.
Let's kick things off with Part 1, America's Global Strengths. When we look at the U.S. on the world stage, its foundational pillars of power are absolutely undeniable. It holds one of the absolute largest economies in the world, but it's not just about size. It serves as a massive, beating heart of global trade. The scale here is so immense that what happens in U.S. markets fundamentally drives financial power and influence across the entire globe. And what's actually driving that colossal economy? It basically boils down to two twin engines. First up, you've got the tech giants in Silicon Valley, which literally lead the world in technology development. And second, the unparalleled financial powerhouse that is Wall Street. Together, these two sectors are what make America a definitive leader in the global economy. But hey, global influence isn't just about dollars and cents. It's heavily rooted in intellectual capital. The U.S. is home to highly prestigious, world-renowned universities. Think Harvard, MIT. These institutions aren't just schools. They are at the absolute forefront of leading scientific research globally. They offer incredible opportunities and really secure the nation's spot as a heavy hitter in the scientific arena. And then there are the people. The societal makeup of the nation reveals the immense strength of its cultural diversity. Different ethnic groups and cultures come together to create this highly dynamic, ever-evolving structure. This kind of diversity isn't just a demographic statistic on a page. It actively makes the U.S. stand out on the global stage, shaping a totally unique cultural footprint everywhere you look.
Now, let's flip the coin. Part 2, deepening social inequalities.
To get the full picture, we have to impartially examine the deep structural problems facing the nation today. A major source of tension is income inequality. The wealth gap between the rich and the poor isn't just sitting still. Actually, it continues to widen every single year. And as the analysis points out, this growing divide acts as a fundamental source of social unrest, fueling significant societal tension across the country. You can really see this wealth gap manifest in the education system. It's a stark contrast. On one hand, you have extremely well-funded, highly equipped schools in affluent neighborhoods, but compare that directly to the under-resourced schools in poorer areas, which often lack basic facilities and essential opportunities. It is a deep, systemic divide based purely on local wealth. And this structural inequality bleeds directly into healthcare, too. The system faces massive hurdles. We're talking about extremely high treatment costs paired with staggering premiums from insurance companies. The real-world result of these financial barriers? Accessing basic, necessary healthcare becomes incredibly difficult for a massive portion of everyday citizens. We also have to objectively note another deeply rooted systemic issue highlighted in the source material. Widespread gun ownership is heavily intertwined with American culture. But this widespread use correlates directly with hundreds of mass shootings every single year. It presents a massive, ongoing social and cultural challenge that the nation continues to grapple with.
Which brings us to Part 3, strengths versus social challenges.
Okay, to really synthesize everything we've talked about, take a look at this comparison table. This perfectly captures a nation operating at extremes. On the left, we see the world's largest economy, driven by Wall Street and Silicon Valley. But on the right, that's counterbalanced by growing income inequality and social unrest. We see prestigious universities leading global research, shadowed closely by deep educational divides across local neighborhoods. And we see dynamic cultural diversity, wrestling with severe systemic issues like high healthcare costs and gun violence. It is, without a doubt, a defining paradox. So why does all of this matter to the rest of us? Ultimately, because the United States is a power that inspires and influences the globe in so many areas. The way it chooses to address these profound internal flaws will absolutely impact the future of the entire global landscape. What happens there reverberates everywhere. So we'll wrap up this explainer with a massive question for you to think about. Based on everything we've objectively covered today, from the towering economic highs to the deeply rooted social inequalities, how do you think America can actually cope with these deep-rooted problems moving forward? It's a complex puzzle, and the whole world is watching to see how the pieces fall into place. Thanks for learning with me today, and I'll catch you in the next one.